Perpetual, Richard Metal fan qui. I'm bringing you guys a brand new 2021 album review, and today we're going to be looking into the new album from the band Nervosa entitled Perpetual Chaos, which was released today under Napalm Records. Now, for those of you who don't know who Nervosa are, they're a all-female thrash metal band or death metal, whatever you for genre you want to put them in, hailing from Sao Paulo, Brazil, and these ladies have been around since 2010. And I discovered Nervosa probably around 2015 or so. It was right around the time they had their debut album they put out called Victim of Yourself, which I thought was a pretty good debut. It was a great start of career. Just some sick like thrash metal, and I never. It was probably one of the best like newer thrash bands I've heard since then. And I kind of like how Nervosa, they have like thrash metal style, but they also have a little bit of like the death metal in them. And then it was around the time in, I believe, 2016, I believe they released their second album, being Agony, which I thought was a really pretty good album. And then their third album, Downfall of Mankind, which is another really great album. But then things changed probably almost about a year ago when their bassist and vocalist Fernanda and their drummer Luann, I can never remember her name, had suddenly left the band, leaving only their guitarist and now only original member Prika Morel. I probably butchered her name. And I was wondering what will be next for Nervosa. But then I think it was like a couple months later they announced a new lineup. They have so this is actually the first album with a new entire lineup. They have on bass they have Mia Wallace, who she used to also play in Abbott solo band. They have a new, and she was actually from Italy, and then they have a new drummer from Greece. Her name is Elena Noiti. He butchered her name. And then they got just someone to just do vocals, Diva Satanica. She's from Spain, I believe. And now this is actually the first album where they're now a four-piece. And I think the new lineup is just really great. Like a lot of times when bands like change lineups, like there's always the worry of like will it work, will it not work, especially with like vocals and stuff. In my honest opinion, I think it really works, and I think it's a pretty great follow-up to Fall of Mankind. I just think like Prika and the ladies just do really great. Let's just talk about the vocals. Like I feel like Diva's vocals, for being her first album with the band, like I think she's better than Fernanda, to be honest. I think Diva's like, she just sounds really powerful. It has like really just, it brings a lot more of a death metal style to Nervosa, which is really great. And Prika, as always, just comes up with some really just sick riffs. The bass on this album I wish was a little bit audible. Well, that's just like one pretty much nitpick I have with the production. I feel like I really wish Mia's bass was turned up, and drumming wise, Elena's drumming is just fucking amazing. Like, pretty much she can really hold down the beat. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now let's start off with the song Venomous, which the riffs just in this song just crushing you just every time when you, and it just at full force. It makes you just clench your fists and just punch people. And this pretty much it's like the first experience with the new lineup. Alini's just strumming is great. She is a machine. And just, I think her drumming is just a really great and just a really one of the most key features on this album. Great way to start this beast. And then we move on to the next song on the album, which is called Guided by Evil, which the first opened up, it kind of reminds you a little bit of fucking Slayer rip, and Diva just really uses her range. I really love how her extreme vocals just really conveys like just rage and just evil and just throughout this whole album. And her vocals just really just go well with the songs, without sort of like overpowering it in a way. Overall, great song. People of the Abyss, fucking killer song. It just really just hits sick. I'm just really impressed. Like this is probably, in my opinion, the best that Nervosa has sounded to date. And then we move on to the title track, Perpetual Chaos, which the song starts off with a really sick drum intro, which kind of sounds a little bit tribal-ish. And then the rest of the band comes in, and Diva just unleashes a sick growl. And musically, it just has some just sick riffs and just some really great drumming is in here. Until the very end, another solid song. I dig it. And then we move on to Genocidal Command, and this song actually has a little bit of a guest appearance. It has a Schmear from Almighty German thrash band Destruction. Again, and I feel like his mix along with like Schmear and Divas just compared to like the great riffage gives this track an instant boost, and just very much one that'll start the pit. And I feel like it definitely like the guest appearances. There's only two appearances as far as I know. Like Schmear's Mira, and of course we'll get into another song in a little bit, which I think it's just a fucking great song. It's just really just I feel like the guest appearance is really just kind of bad, but I mean it would have been good to have it be just Nervosa, but I feel like overall, but it's still kind of like a good thing to have some appearances. So yeah, I probably just rambled on. Anyway, moving on to the next song. Pretty much about the second half of the album. We're starting things off with Kings of Domination, and my God, I feel like this should be called Queens of Domination because, you know, Nervosa are a bunch of gals. So, but overall, good song, fucking heavy as fuck. Time to Fight. Now, this pretty much shows a kind of like a different side of the band. It shows like a have more fun side, and I feel like I don't know. It's just a great song. I can't even speak today. I'm sorry. Moving on to Godless Prisoner. I love this song. It's just really just in your face. Then we go into Blood Eagle. Now it just starts off with a pretty good intro, then just plummets into some great like rhythmic change just throughout the song, and it's kind of like a little bit of a slower song, I should say, as well. Then we move on to the next song on the album, which is called Rebel Soul. Now this song is just an all-out thrashing song, and this song features a guest appearance from Eric A.K. from Flotsam and Jetsam, a.k.a. the band that Jason Newsted was in before he joined Metallica. But overall, I feel like Eric adds pretty much a little bit of like the melodicness to the song, so like the power in it. It's a great song. Pursued by Judgment. Now this is, in my opinion, pretty much the only time we hear like Mia rise a little bit. It was just briefly in this song. I feel like it's kind of a shame, but that we can't enjoy her talent throughout like the rest of this album or for what we've heard so far. But overall, I feel like it's a pretty good song nonetheless. And then everything ends with Under Ruins, and this is pretty much everything ends on a high note. It's just a very mid-paced song with just some sick drumming and some sick riffs. A pretty good way to end this album. Now overall, Perpetual Chaos by Nervosa is a pretty good album. Really, probably the best they've had to date. I feel like Pre-Ken and the ladies just do great as well. So shout out to you gals for putting out a kick-ass album. It's fucking awesome. Just thank you all again. So if I were to give this album a score, I'm going to give Perpetual Chaos by Nervosa probably a solid 8.5 out of 10. So yep, that's my review of the new Nervosa album, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, please keep it metal. Arigato.